Hello, Brett, and anyone else who happens to stumble across this video. So this is my response and discussion with chapters 1 through 4 in our really surprisingly massive textbook. Massive, like it takes up my whole lap because it's very tall. Okay, so one of the first things that I wanted to address was in chapter 1 on my page 26 and 27 there's this huge list of ways to take care of yourself or things you need to do in order to take care of yourself during your first year of teaching, because that's something that just as human beings a lot of us neglect to do. And I think there's that meme or thing on Facebook or something that's like you can't pour from an empty cup. And I think that's true with teaching, and that's kind of like the overarching theme of this part of chapter 1. And one of like the very first bullet, it said, make time for yourself, eat well, exercise, count your blessings, all this good stuff. But eating well and exercising, for me, exercising is important, but also just eat well is something that it's like the first thing you start to neglect, eating and sleeping well when you're getting really stressed. And I think that's something that we all need to remember to do as we start teaching and student teaching in the fall. Just like eat food that energizes you, and I could go off on a tangent about that, but I won't. Chapter 2. I'm already almost out of time. This sucks. Okay. Chapter-ish 2. One of the things that it talked about that I really liked was maximizing the time that you had at school. And there was that like countdown list. Like I have in 10 minutes I'll do this, in 3 minutes I'll do this, in 1 minute, in 5 minutes, all that good stuff. And I think it's really important to get organized like that. And even if you can't get everything checked off of your list, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Just get done what you can. And it talked about minimizing the time you spend at home, which like teaching is one of those professions where you have to bring a lot of things home with you. And the book gives various actions that I don't have time to go into on these, but no matter what, the very last action, it said you need to set aside time to relax. Like, yeah, you have all this stuff that you need to get done, and if you're like me and you need to get these things done before you can just hang out and relax, fine, but take a break, take like 30 minutes. My thing that I do is no matter what, I eat dinner and lunch just like not while I'm doing anything else. Like I can be watching TV or I can just be hanging out on my couch or whatever, but I don't do anything work related or homework related during meal times. And that's like one way to kind of take care of yourself. And I'm going to skip ahead to chapter 4 because I'm already over time. But using extrinsic motivation effectively. I've talked about this before. I think I talked about it in Kim's class, but extrinsic versus intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, because extrinsic motivation is like really controversial. I'll give you this piece of candy if you turn in this assignment, because it kind of is cut and dry and doesn't look at everything the way you need to. But I think like we talked about in Kim's class, extrinsic motivation used consistently and effectively over a long period of time can turn into intrinsic motivation, and I think that's really powerful, and something that we should work on, and something that the book emphasized as well. That's all the time I have. Sorry, I'm almost at 4 minutes. Bye.